Hello there. I want to talk about maintaining the edge of your knife in the field. Um, and I want to break it up into a couple of things. You can do a lot of different things in the field. I have seen like bushcrafters and stuff like that with like a wooden paddle type thing with sandpaper glued to it. Don't do that. Don't do that. Buy a decent stone. You don't have a decent stone to cost you 25 or 30 bucks, and it'll last forever till you're dead if you take care of it. To sharpen your knives with, uh, those guys they have stones and stuff at home, but they bring like sandpaper, so you don't need that. Okay, there's a way to keep your knife sharp and cutting properly in the field. As long as you use the knife for what it's intended to and have respect to it and don't tear up the edge, put notches and all things and all kinds of stuff on the edge. So, what I want to talk to you about is a pasted strop. This is a strop. It's just a piece of what I had was a piece of 1x pine. And you see I kind of chamfered the edges to make it feel better on my hand and stuff like that when I use it. But it's just a piece of leather with the rough, fuzzy side glued up and the smooth side glued down to this piece of wood, which is flat. Okay? And what you do is you take this and you get you something like this. This is from Harbor Freight. It says green polishing compound. What this is a chromium oxide compound. This is in a crayon form. You can get it in like a paste as well. That's why I call it a pasted strop a lot of the time. Let me sit this here. But this is like $7 at Harbor Freight. And the most common you will see is this or a block form of this. You want to take this and you can heat that up with a lighter first if you want to. See how much easier that spreads on the compound. That compound spreads. It's not necessary. I rarely do it, but for the demonstration of this video, I thought that I would. And it doesn't have to be pretty. You just have to put this compound, and that's probably way more than enough, honestly. Okay, like that. That's way more than you need on it. What you do is you sharpen your knife really well at home before you come out to the field. Make sure it's razor sharp and has a good solid edge on it. And if you want to know how to do that, I have a sharpening playlist on this channel that will teach you how to get a razor sharp edge on your knife very simply and very easily. I would recommend that playlist. Okay? But what you do is you go out in the field, and when you begin to use your knife, the first sign that you have that the knife is not cutting as well as it used to, take the knife, and I'm gonna come over there where you can see. Lay the knife so that you see that edge. Let me see if this will be better. See that edge? Do the same here. Come like that. Come back. Lift your elbow so that you get that tip. Do that 20 or 30 times, and your knife will be razor sharp. Okay? The knife will be razor sharp, and you can go back to what you were doing. It takes literally seconds. And when it starts feeling dull again, do that again. Every time you use your knife in the field, run it across this 20 or 30 times and bring the edge back. And if you do that, you don't need anything else. If you pay attention to the edge of your knife, excuse me a minute, and how it feels when you're cutting things, and it feels like it's starting to get dull, you hit it, not it's getting dull, but I'm going to cut a little bit more. Okay, it feels like it's getting dull, I'm going to hit it with this. If you just do that, you can keep, as long as you don't ding it up or mess it up, okay, or go way too long without doing that, okay, that right there will keep a razor sharp knife on your edge the whole time that you're in the field, and you don't have to worry about it, okay. But now if you're out and you push the knife past its ability to be brought back with this, because you can, you know, if you smack it up against a rock or something like that, if you cut on a rock and it, you know, and the edge of that goes up against that rock, once again, use the knife as a knife is intended and treat it like a knife. Okay? But if you do something like that, then you're going to need a small stone. At least I recommend a 6-inch by 1-inch by 2-inch stone. This is an old stone I found at a flea market and paid like $2 for, something like that. This is an old silicon carbide oil stone. I recommend this or what's known as an aluminum oxide or Norton India stone. This would be called a crystalline by Norton, but they are just, this is a silicon carbide, and the India stone is an aluminum oxide stone. Okay, to sharpen your knife back up. When you get done on this, hit it with this pasted strop and go back to work. Now, I will carry this in my pack because I am a sharpener and I know how to bring an edge back, and I want a super sharp edge, and if something happens to my edge, I can take this and bring it back. Okay, but ideally this is all that you need. This and your knife will carry you through, and this is small, it's simple and easy to do, and I'm going to show you how to put this leather on it now. Okay, now if you look at this, I've got some glue or something there. It's not quite as smooth as I would like it to be. Now you could take a razor blade and scrape that off and it would be perfectly fine. Okay? But because I have the tools to do it with, I'm gonna fix that and make sure the wood is flat and that it's got a fresh surface for the glue to bond to. But you could just get some MDF or a piece of plywood and that would be plenty flat, no problem. And you wouldn't have to worry about this. But I have a hand plane here. Nice and flat. What I'm going to do, I'm going to line that up. And I've got some wood glue, just regular Titebond original wood glue, if I can get it open. And what I'm going to do, if you look at this, that's all the glue that I put on there. You don't need a metric ton of glue. As long as you have a thin, even coating of glue. I'm going to set that there. I'm going to wipe glue off of my hands. Okay, so in this case, I put the smooth side up because what I'm going to do is when I come off of here, I'll use that as sort of a final touch up of the blade. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to take this, I'm going to use this vise to clamp it. I want to take that down a little further. Sorry, I'm a little bit picky. And what I'll do is I'll let that cure for about a half an hour and then take it inside. But you've seen the process, okay? All you need is something flat, MDF, plywood, a pine board. And it doesn't even have to be as flat as I made that. Just reasonably flat. Some glue and some wood and something to cut the, some glue and some leather. I got that at Michael's. Okay. Some glue, some leather. That's like an 8 or 9 ounce leather. And you could take 2 clamps and 2 flat boards and clamp that together between those 2 flat boards. Clamp it sort of like that. Let it dry. And truth be told, you could put that leather on there and let it get tacky and just let it set. It's not going to be under a lot of pressure. You really probably don't even need to clamp it. And that's all there is to it. And put that in your pack along with your knife. And if you're so inclined, maybe a stone. And if you want to, take some of this green compound with you in case you want to, because you eventually will have to recharge that strop from time to time, because it'll get black from the metal that's being pulled off of this uh, edge. But that's all there is to it, and you'll have a sharp knife whenever you need one, and you can maintain it in the field, no problem. Thanks for watching. I'll talk to you later.